Goal planning can be downright traumatic for some ADHDers, and I can completely understand why. First of all, we're not great at planning, but even more importantly, we're not awesome at follow through sometimes. Well, a lot of the times. And while I don't think it's that important to have specific goals for your life, I do think, especially for ADHDers, it's important that we have a direction that we want to go to, a North Star. Because if we don't have something in the future to anchor ourselves towards, we have a tendency to just like meander through life and we pick up ideas here and there. And some of them are our own and some of them are influenced by other people. But we tend not to see a lot of progress when we don't really know where we're going. So in this video, I want to show you how I've figured out how to break goals down and actually plan and structure them in a way that I will actually follow through on them. And I got to tell you, I used to be the worst for follow through, but that has all changed in the last 3 or 4 years. And I 100% give credit to the planning routine that I've built in order for me to make sustainable change. It has more to do with the behaviors of creating a plan and then breaking it down than actually coming back to your plan and revisit it on a regular basis. That is going to bring you so much further than focusing on this tool or that tool. Now, that said, I do think picking the right tool, something you enjoy using, is going to make it a lot easier to maintain that behavior. So not only am I going to show you how to set out goals for yourself, how to break them down, how to plan them for at least a quarter, I'm going to show you all of it in xTiles. And one thing I do love about xTiles a lot is that you can make it visually into anything you want. It's kind of like a bullet journal, only way better. You'll see what I mean. And I want to thank xTiles for being the sponsor of today's video. So let's jump in and start planning 2025. I'm going to start with a new workspace for the year, and I'm going to call it my 2025 planner, and then I'm going to create. And within this, you end up with a blank space, which I am then going to start a new project. And this is what I mean by a bullet journal. Basically, you can have a blank page from which you can start to create any sort of structure you want. But I know for some that can be very overwhelming, me being one of them. I like to start from something. So I'm going to go into their templates and I'm going to look for something that's going to start me out on a full annual planner. I think I'm going to use this one and then I can just recreate it into whatever I want it to be. So this is the template that I'm going to work with. And I like it because it's got a daily view and a weekly view of your plans. It's also got a fun little personal binder that I think will be really useful, especially the pet care thing. But more importantly, it has a dedicated area for goal setting. Now, rather than going with what they have here, I am going to start by eliminating half of the boxes because here's the first thing I think is so important to think about when it comes to goal setting. If you have any more than 3 goals in a year, it makes it really hard to focus on any of them. So I'm going to give myself 3 goals. And I'm going to call one of them business, work, and that could also be money. I'm going to call one of them health and wellness, because that's really important. And then I'm going to call the other one personal. And that can be family, relationships, whatever you want it to be. But these are the categories that I like to use to think about the goals that I want to set for the rest of the year. Now I'm going to zhuzh this up so it looks the way I want it to. Okay, as you can see, I've done some renovating here. And to be clear, I'm not saying you shouldn't have more than 3 goals in 1 year. I'm just saying any more than 3 goals at any given time throughout the year is a bit of a waste of time and is only going to make you more overwhelmed. That's my personal philosophy. You do as many as you like. But now that I've set this up, I want to walk you through the thinking behind it. So in order for me to get to the point where I'm setting meaningful goals, I start with what's going well and what's not going well. So if this was like at the top of the year, I might be doing like a full yearly review. But if I'm just setting goals at any point throughout the year, then I just want to ask myself that simple question to level set. And for me, workouts and business and all the house upgrades that we've done are all doing well. We're tracking towards our retirement goal. So all of those big important milestones are tickety-boo. Things that are not going well, I haven't seen my friends in a while. My stress is higher because I've been working a lot, even though I'm enjoying what I'm doing. If I'm in front of a computer screen too much, it does elevate my stress. And another thing adding to the stress is we're trying to figure out if we're going to move this year or next year or at all. And then the next question I ask myself is, what do I actually want to change? Because there's often a lot of small fires burning in my life or little problems here or there that I just don't want to address in the moment. So I think when you're setting goals, it's really important to identify what's working versus not working. But then of that, what do you actually want to put the effort into changing? And for me, that's really about changing the balance of how much time I'm working versus, wellness and every other area of my life. And also, of course, that fundamental question of what's important to me right now, because throughout your life, different things are going to be important through different seasons. So when you're setting goals, it's a good idea to revisit that question just to make sure that you are on top of what matters most in the moment. So based on that, I set out my 3 goals: a live cohort, deepening my meditation practice, and planning a girls' trip in the summer. So other things will come up, I'm sure. 2 of these goals will be done in Q1. Another one will be done in Q3. So there will be time and space for other things, but I just don't want to focus on too much at any given time. One more thing I'll say on goal setting: if creating lists or journaling or anything like that is just not your vibe, the other thing that I think is super fun and helpful and came with this template as well is doing a vision board. So I pulled together this fun little vision board before I started my goal setting. This year, I'm optimizing for contentment and alignment. And then these are just little mantras I like to tell myself. But here's why I love using xTiles so much. Let's say you want to do some cooking classes this year. You could create an image for, let's say, cooking and see what comes up. Actually, that's really cute. And add it right there. And having something like this in your planning system is just fun to reconnect to your goals, especially if you're a very visual person. So now we have our goals established, which is great. But the next issue is, how do we actually remember that we set them, and how do we actually follow through on them? And that's what I'm going to jump into now. So we're back here in our goal section, and we're going to go through these one by one. And what I'm going to do is turn all of these to-dos into tasks. So you see where to-dos are little squares and tasks are circles. And basically anything that's a task will get collected into a master task database, which is going to be really important when we get to planning our months and weeks. But something that's a to-do is just something that you will check off, and it doesn't belong in any other place. And hosting a live cohort in Q1 is not actually a task. It's an entire project or goal. So I wouldn't want to put that on my task list. What I do want to do is break it down. So if I'm going to host a cohort in Q1, which I am going to do, guys, so keep your ears peeled for more information on that. I want to outline program, create messaging, come up with a name, and I would continue to do a task-based brainstorm in terms of all of the things that I need to do. And then what I would do here is set a time and date for when I actually want to address those things. So let's put all of that in for next week. And then we'll come here to the next one, which is improving my meditation practice and finding a retreat. So again, these are just quick tasks that I can do in an hour or less. And if I'm ready to, I can go ahead and give them a date to get done as well. So I'm keep doing that with all of my goals. And then once I'm done, I can come up here and I will see them in my master task list, along with anything that's in my calendar, because this software does integrate with Google Calendar, which is amazing. So the next thing I want to do is start planning out the next month or 2. Now, the template that I picked did not come with a monthly planner. It only came with a weekly planner and a daily planner. And I probably won't use the daily planner, so I will delete that. But let me show you how easy this is. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to search for a monthly planner. I think I'm going to use this one here. So I'm going to add it to my existing project. I like the structure of this, don't like the color, so I will have to change that out as well. But here's how I like to plan at the monthly level. It's pretty high level, and I just want to be aware of all of the major things that are coming up in that month so that I can mentally prepare for them and just make sure that I'm not overcommitted in any particular area. So let's say this is our monthly plan for January. What I'll do here is put in any major to-do that needs to be addressed in that month. So it's not necessarily going to be a task that's going to show up on my task list. I'm just thinking about high-level projects or commitments or anything I have coming up. So I'll do that now, and then I'll show you what I mean. Okay, this looks much better. That brown was just not working for me for a January. Okay, so now I've broken down all of just the big reminders that I have throughout January. And now what I'll do is go through each of them and see if it's actually something I can put on my task list. Like taking down the tree, I can absolutely do that on January 5th. And returning gifts, Saturday the 4th, and New Year's Eve party on the 2nd. So basically all I'm taking are those big ideas and making them into tasks if I can. And if they need to be broken down more, then I will do that at the weekly level. So now what we're going to do is look at the weekly planner. And I love the weekly planner that came with this template. Again, we have the dreary brown that I'm going to need to change. But here's what I do love about it. I love that it has this reward to myself after a task completed. Now, this can be something you do after every task, or it can be something you do at the end of the day or week. I'm not a fan of orange. So I'm going to take that out and I'm going to come over here to widgets and I'm going to find something a little bit more my color. And I'm just going to move it up here. The other thing I love about this template is that it breaks down do immediately, later, and everything else. Because I don't know about you, but everything to me feels equally important and urgent all at once. So this forces your brain to think about what you're going to do. And then down here, we have an area where we can review the week at the end of it. We've got an area for our weekend plans. So what I'm going to do now is just personalize this a bit more and make it look like something I would want to revisit on a daily basis. Okay, this is starting to look a lot like me, and I've added the important details, so let me just show you what I've changed. The first thing I've done under do immediately every day is put in workout, walk for 3 miles, meditate, and then I have my cohort main task that I do immediately. So all 4 of those tasks will be the first thing that I do every day because number 1, they're most important, and number 2, because they relate to my goals. So the other thing I've added here is a meal plan. I only plan my dinners. I don't really think about breakfast or lunch because I generally have the same thing. Then at the end of the week, I would review here. But the key things here is that I'm tracking my habits, which I'm hoping are relating to my goals. And the things that I'm prioritizing on a daily basis are the tasks that are related to that goal. And then at the end of every week, either Friday or Sunday, I will go through and just see, am I tracking towards my goals or not? It's just so important that you're planning on a regular basis, at least weekly at a minimum, and monthly if you prefer to do that as well, and making sure that there's a through line of all of those goals that you set for yourself in your weekly plans. And that is how you create a life of contentment and alignment, and one that makes you happy and makes you feel good. It has to be done with intention because it'll never get done on its own. So that's what I've got for you this week. I hope it was helpful and gave you some great ideas. Thanks again to xTiles for sponsoring today's video. If you're curious about using the software, I will leave a link to them below. And if you're interested, I'll even tell you how to grab a copy of this template for free so that you can implement this for yourself. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.